Hey, this is Alpha for Shock's video guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at some Heart of the Swarm units. The first unit we're going to be taking a look at in this video is the Reaper, a Terran unit which is built from the barracks and functions as a raiding unit. Now, the Reaper obviously was in Wings of Liberty and is remade somewhat in Heart of the Swarm, which is why we're going to be taking a look at it in this video. Now, just to go over the Wings of Liberty Reaper to refresh everyone's memory, it was a unit that built from the barracks, required a Tech Lab add-on, cost 50 gas and 50 minerals and 1 supply. It was extremely good against light units, dealing an additional 5 damage against them for a total of 2 attacks of 9 at 5 range, and it moves at a speed of 3.38, making it quite fast and significantly faster than workers and basic units. In Wings of Liberty, the Reaper was seldom used because most people had learned to counter it fairly easy using Marauders and Stalkers, and for Zerg, even Zerglings and Roaches, as well as the new Queens, can quite easily deal with the small numbers of Reaper that Terran are capable of producing. But we're going to see that in Heart of the Swarm, the Reaper is a little bit more useful just because of the way that it has been changed. Now, there is an upgrade for the Reaper at the Tech Lab, which should be mentioned, even though it's very seldom used. Could see it in future months be used more in Heart of the Swarm, now that Reapers might be more common, and that is the Nitro Pack upgrade, which drastically increases the speed of the already fast Reaper, making it much more effective at kiting and getting away and just doing general harassment. So we see in this game we're going to have a Terran versus Terran matchup, which interestingly does sometimes feature Reapers even in Wings of Liberty, but we're going to see that both players actually elect to go for Reapers in this game. So we see that the Terran player Believe is taking his gas, and so is the Terran player Rickster. We're going to be focusing on Believe for this game. And we see the barracks coming up, and we see a Tech Lab coming out even before the first Marine. So obviously this is a rush straight to Reapers. So we're going to see the first Reaper start construction. There we go. And we're going to see that even on a map like Antigua Shipyard, which has tons of different spawning locations, different bases, and a lot of cliffs, we're going to see that that Reaper can really be used to great effect on a map like this, especially due to the numerous ledges and this secondary ledge here. We're going to see that the Reaper is very good, and especially the new Reaper in Heart of the Swarm. So once this Reaper comes out, we can take a look at its new abilities. There's the Reaper. As we can see, it has 50 hit points, and it has 3 passive abilities. The first ability is the Jetpack, which was the same as in Wings of Liberty. It allows us to jump up and down cliffs. Now the second ability, actually we'll talk about that one later. The third ability is Battlefield Awareness, which allows the Reaper to see up and down cliffs and over unsightable terrain, which is basically any terrain that would ordinarily block sight. Now, what kind of terrain does that? Well, these smoke geysers right here would ordinarily block the Reaper's sight, but as we can see, it can see right through that. And if we take a look here, it can see beyond these smoke geysers, it can see over here, it can see over here. This is really huge because it means that when you're coming up a cliff, you can actually see what you're about to jump into. And it means that when a Reaper is coming up a cliff like this, if there are units stationed here, the Reaper can immediately begin opening fire once it lands here. Now the second ability is Combat Drugs, which makes the Reaper regenerate very quickly outside of combat. After the Reaper has been out of combat for at least 10 seconds, it begins to regenerate 2 hit points per second. This is extremely useful if we think about the fact that Reapers tend to go in, do a bit of harassment, kill some SCVs, and then quickly move back out. And we see that this ground vision is being used to great effect to really get the jump on defensive units. And I want to point out that the Reapers just make short work of these SCVs. They kill them in 3 hits, which is quite fast when you have a couple of Reapers. And they also do the same to Marines. Now, I do want to point out that one thing that has been removed from the Reaper is its building attack from Wings of Liberty. In Wings of Liberty, Reapers had the ability to throw grenades or bombs at buildings, dealing higher damage than their ordinary attack. With the addition of the new abilities in Heart of the Swarm, that ability has been removed from the Reaper and replaced with Combat Drugs and Battlefield Awareness. But since most people rarely had enough Reapers to actually take out a building, the trade-off seems to be worth it, especially since the ability to kill SCVs is augmented significantly by the fact that Reapers can now regenerate quickly and see up and down cliffs, making them much more powerful against defensive units and making them much more able to hop into a base where an opponent may not be prepared. Since you can simply skirt around a base like this guy is, you can just kind of see, is there anything here? Is there anything? Okay, there's a Marauder, so obviously don't go up there. But come up over here perhaps, or go into the main, just, scouting around and quickly pulling back without taking too much damage, quickly regenning, and so on and so forth. So that's just a quick look at the Reaper in Heart of the Swarm. Hopefully it will be used to great effect by professionals and non-professionals alike. This has been another video for Shock's Video Guide. Please stay tuned for more videos every other day, and feel free to browse our existing library of tips, strategies, and more. Thanks for watching.